Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kadash. All praises, honor, glory, love, respect, faith, and power, and trust, and all credit to my Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and my Heavenly Big Brother, Yahweh Shah. Thank you so much for what you've done, what you're doing, and what you're going to do. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of GMS, Great Millstone, who I learned from, and all the men scattered all over the world, teaching this truth and none but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Shema Shah. Trying to put a spiritual bug in you Hebrew Israelites' ears, you so-called black Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you speckled birds. And what is a speckled bird? They be a Hebrew Israelite that look like some of the heathen nations, like for example, a Hebrew Israelite that look like a so-called white person, a so-called Chinese person, etc., etc. Got some videos lined up, just some random videos of stuff that's going on around the world. Well, mostly is America. I mean, whatever. It's mostly related to America. Well, anyway, I just got some random videos. Anyway, I'm going to play these videos. I'm going to get into the scripture, my best ability, say whatever God say through Spirit and power, Yahweh Shema Shah, the Holy Spirit, the Kurhak, Badash, Lord willing be on me. Let's get it.
You were looking at unclassified footage of the U.S. pounding Iran, a bunch of different military positions. They said they hit over 170 different targets, and you can see here, they are wiping them out left and right. We have the announcement that this operation that they dubbed Operation Bitch Slap.
Anyway,
has gone into motion. Although the military officials say that this isn't the official name of any operation, this is what it's being referred to in meetings, in talks. People have heard it being said multiple times, that is the name.
You know damn well they're going to stick with that name.
Of the operation right here. And it's basically Trump trying to tell Iran that they're not going to take anything less than what he wants. Saying that they will bomb for days. And I'm here to tell all you people, he says even weeks, if they have to.
And that footage might not even be real. It might be AI. It might have been taking place 10 years ago. Ain't no telling. But whatever.
Trump saying that he's making clear that he has little appetite for allowing any of
that stuff that's being bombed. It might not be United States doing all that bombing. It could be footage from some other country, another country doing that. I don't know.
Their attacks on international shipping vessels or anything in the area, and he's basically saying we're going to drop bombs until you submit. That's where we sit right now. There's no fixing this issue. Remember, they're rigging the prices here on the home front to make people think that everything is still normal, which is going to snap back and have terrible blowback and repercussions in the end. There's no other way around that. But this operation pounding Iran, I also expect blowback from jihadis here in this country at some point. And I'm not talking the stage stuff, that can happen too, but I'm talking real deal, ticked off people that they eliminated their spiritual leader. And they did not get to finish the whole funeral process through Iraq and back up in Iran like they were supposed to because the bombs started flying. The U.S. is going to say it's because they sunk ships, but it's back and forth, and it's not ending. I would have a plan for this, man. I warned you, if this goes all through summer, it's going to have devastating consequences. Most of the sheep are just sitting there looking at it like it's not happening or something. But join me for the live streams.
Yeah, it's happening. Let's get to the next one.
I feel so empty inside.
Communism's easy to sell. I would be the greatest communist in history. I'd be right up there with Lenin. I'd be as good as anybody. You got free rent for the rest of your life.
This is Russell Dobular filling in for Jimmy Dore, who is out on the road enjoying life. Nick Cruz will be up next. He's a citizen journalist, geopolitical analyst, co-founder of the Revolutionary Blackout Network, a socialist media outlet centered on black working class perspectives. He advocates for anti-imperialism, universal health care, and revolutionary solidarity, offering a pointed critique of mainstream politics and corporate media while promoting grassroots activism as a tool for achieving systemic change. Welcome, Nick Cruz, to the show. Yo, man, I've known you for a long time.
Yeah, man, it's good to be talking to you again. What's poppin', my friends? Good to be back on JD. Good to see my friend Russell. You guys are killing the game. It's great to talk to you guys.
So Donald Trump today on his trip here opined about communism. The woman who asked the question, by the way, I had Malcolm here, producer here. I said, find out who that woman is, man, because I knew something was up with her. Like, that's beyond like normal CNN anti-China propaganda. Yeah, her name I think is Irene Tao. She works for a news organization that they claim to have editorial independence, but it's part of Falun Gong. So that's why you get the question framed like this. All right, so let's see.
You've been issuing a wake-up call to Americans at home about the dangers of communism, and now you're speaking on the world stage. What's your message to people both living under communist and socialist regimes, but also people living under democracies like in Europe and America who might not have realized how close communism has come to home?
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. But look, I want to get the word out because what's forming is communism in the country. And communism's easy to sell. I would be the greatest communist in history. I'd be right up there with Lenin. I'd be as good as anybody.
Yeah, you say it's communist is easy to sell because you got a bunch of dumbass Americans that are ready to ride and die for this guy.
You've got free rent for the rest of your life. What they don't say is that you'll be living in squalor in 12 months. You've got the free house. Would anybody like to have a free house? We'll take it away from somebody. We'll give it to you. You'll have murders all over the place. Communism's a disaster. It's been proven to be for thousands of years under different names, but same thing. It's very important.
Thousands of years.
Funny. One of the reasons I do so well with Hispanic people, I set a record, Republicans. I get great numbers for the election, helped me get elected in a landslide. The Hispanics, because a lot of them came from countries that were essentially communist. You know, whether you call them radical.
And a lot of those countries, it's funny. What was that shit they have? I forgot what they call it. When the United States raised up, in like say in South America, they have like soldiers from South America raise them up to be leaders and dictators or whatever. It was his name. Fidel Castro was one of them. It was some kind of program they had, but it was Fidel Castro was one of them. But you see how that went. And then you had what's that dude name? Was he part of that shit? The one from Venezuela, but not the current Maduro. He probably was one of them. But then you had another one there, the one Chavez. I think it was Chavez. He was one of them. You had a lot of them that they had that Esau raised them up to be the leaders, to shit on their own people. But anyway, yeah, I lost my train of thought.
Socialist or communist is.
All right, so you get the idea. All right, so this is the main reason I went to Asia. I wanted to go to communist countries. I wanted to see, because we talk about that a lot. People are very curious about it. I felt like, well, I'm lucky enough. I don't have a family. I don't have the kind of responsibilities Keaton has. I can do it. I felt like one of us, if we can, should do it. So one of the hardest things about adjusting when I came back, I wasn't used to potholes. I wasn't used to the condition of things.
Yeah.
So I went to China, and I've traveled around the United States a fair amount, man. I'm honest. I would tell people I did not see anything like the crumbling roads, the crumbling bridges anywhere. And I was from one end of that country to the other. I was in Urumqi, man. I was in Uyghur country over there. Like if any place would be underfunded, it would be all the way over there. Nah, man, everything was pristine. I promise you. Most of the people in Cleveland would be very happy to live in Urumqi compared to what they're living in. These are the things that America is actually number one in. Healthcare, it is last among wealthy nations. Happiness, 24th. Education, 26th. Life expectancy, 46th. Free press, 57th. Climate, 57th. Social mobility, 27th. Income equality, last in the Western world. What it's number one at is imprisoning people, gun deaths, school shootings, drug deaths,
oppressing the Hebrew Israelites. Shit.
Medical bankruptcy, wealth inequality among wealthy nations, maternal mortality among wealthy nations, child poverty among wealthy nations, believing it's number one. But you can see what's happening now. They got they saw these DSA victories, which we'll get into, and they said, okay, this is what we're going to bear down into. We're going to play the Cold War classics, the fear of communism. Do you think they'll be able to sell that? Because as you've said many times, we've said...
Especially the shit they're doing right now with their tag team partner, Amalek. Well, Israel, I say country. But anyway.
Many times, Americans are the most propagandized people on earth. You might look at it and say, that can't work. What I will say is people know when they're broke. And this is why these arguments are not working like they used to. So what do you think? Can they get traction?
You know, it's funny. On my Odyssey account, let me check this shit out. You know, it gotta be an agent or a bot. It's just a fucking dumb motherfucker, I guess. Shit. What is it? It left a comment. What it says?
The videos that we're getting are quite.
Gorky? Gorky says, stop watching U.S. propaganda channels. Are you talking to me? He's saying I'm watching these channels? I don't know. I mean, that's why I guess so. Because all I'm doing is talking about, damn, the plagues that the Lord is bringing in this video. He left a comment saying it's all propaganda, U.S. propaganda. I mean, there's earthquakes and storms, and I mean, anyway, you're going to come across a bunch of dumbass leaving comments. I mean, I don't know what this person's problem is, but whatever.
With this?
Yeah.
They already lost the battle of ideas, especially when you look at the polling of the new generation, how they see through the lies.
Yeah, that what I just showed earlier, I mean, that's just, I don't know what was that about. But I just want to bring that up.
About
he had brought up about U.S. What's it called? U.S. propaganda. So whatever.
Socialism. I was nervous at first when Donald Trump was making threats about communists, and then I realized that he's actually talking about Cory Booker. He actually talking about Democrats. Like when you talk about communists, he's talking about Hakeem Jeffries.
Right.
That's how serious they actually are. But I'm glad that we still make them nervous. They still fear the specter of the fight and the revenge of the working class. And he has a lot of reason to be nervous. Because speaking of China, you know what China does to their corrupt billionaires?
Oh yeah.
They killed them.
Yeah.
So
They just sentenced one to death. What did he steal? $325 million? That guy?
Damn. Yeah, sure do. I remember it was a woman they killed. And there was a couple of dudes they killed recently, as far as I can remember. And there wasn't one of them was a billionaire. It was a millionaire. The woman was a millionaire, but they killed her ass.
Yeah, so isn't it cute how in our country we have legalized bribery? We should call it lobbying. Like we call
the APAC small hats.
The corruption in our system. We give it official names and titles. Oh, he's a lobbyist. Like, what are you talking about? So these Epstein demons in the ruling class, they have every reason to fear us. We're not shy about what we want to do. We want.
Whoa, Jake seemed kind of okay, like British cigarette behavior.
Maximum authoritarianism against the Epstein class. Anyone who is responsible for the massive theft of the working class in the United States, anyone responsible for war crimes overseas, we want to hold them accountable the same way that China hold their ruling class accountable. Trump is scared because we need a Mao. Speaking of China,
right?
We need a Mao, one of the greatest men of all time, and he's the foundation in which China was built upon. It's weird when what's that? Oh, look, base.
Oh man, this is from China.
So they just want to loot, and they just want to plunge.
And it's gonna get to that point too, cause they getting set up. Hey, he's joking about being a great communist. Yeah. Shit. Setting up AI data centers, all kinds of shit. Robots and drones gonna be in the streets, get people microchip, all that shit. Let me fast forward.
And I've been discussing on my channel that these are evidence that you guys are being grifted. They give these giant contracts to their friends, their families. So instead of investing in our communities, they essentially turn the United States to a glorified arms dealer who enrich the ruling class, who invest in ads in the corporate media, who then enrich propagandists, who then donate to politicians. It is not a coherent system. And that's why we see the ruling class have to compromise their values consistently in order to compete with countries who actually do have a coherent model and actually have a competent government. So please remember, these people are always full of shit, and they don't even believe what they claim they practice.
Well, isn't this? I mean, Germany did this too. Like, isn't this pretty typical of fascism? It's part of the definition of fascism, where you're going to have a merger of the state and corporations on behalf of a ruling class rather than on behalf of the people. Like, they're adopting some of these tactics.
All right, let me start right there. If you want to watch the rest of the video, be my guest. They go to title, they go to channel. Let's get to the next one.
Well, we have another tragedy in Venezuela following the country being hit by two powerful back-to-back earthquakes this past week. Official numbers report 50,000 people missing, and some family reports and media updates push the unaccounted for numbers as high as 70,000 people, including many
I have to skip some. Because the way the title says, are you ready for chaos? Yeah, I'll skip it eventually. I'm going to let it keep playing.
children. What makes this tragedy even more shocking?
I mean, this earthquake is create chaos, but anyway.
Shocking is that we're now hearing reports that children who've survived the earthquakes are being taken. This is obviously a nightmare scenario, and I have some details about the NGOs on the ground there right now, which we should be asking questions about. Furthermore, the MOU is seemingly collapsing before our very eyes, multiple analysts saying the war is not over, and of course this means our earlier warnings about food supply challenges are now extended beyond early 2027. Joining us to discuss all of the ways in which we're being lied to, what is likely coming next, and what we need to do to prepare is our guest, Brett Miller. Brett Miller, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you being here.
Yes, hey Maria, great.
All right, I'm about to skip some stuff. I think anybody going to introduction, introducing itself.
For a very long time, and I'm a little bit more of a bleeding heart than he is, but I
Can hide from the world, so yeah, we have a lot of solutions for that, but you're dead on. You know, this is one big digital prison that they're building around us as fast as possible.
You said they're putting cameras in our homes. A city in Oregon was forced to permanently remove its flock cameras after an audit found that federal agencies had access to the system. The audit revealed that 2 federal agencies could access the data, including the ability to search the broader network of license plate records for up to 6 months. Flock cameras are used as a...
Ain't it funny? The last video, I haven't watched any of these videos. Well, the last video playing, I was mentioning about your president. He's the president bringing in AI and all that other shit. And you got all these flock cameras of surveillance. Yeah, the New World Order being built up. And the next video coming up, and you see this one they talk about it, but the next video coming up talking about digital dollar reset. Yep.
mass surveillance tool under the guise of public safety, says Shadow of Ezra. And what was found recently was that it's going beyond license plates. There's another technology, and the name of it escapes me right now, but I need to report on this soon, that's pairing, essentially goes hand in hand with Flock, where it's not just your license plate. So as you're driving past a Flock camera, they are collecting all of the signals that are coming out of your vehicle, including your phone, your car's Bluetooth, potentially, sounds that your phone is recording or images that your phone is recording, sending that back to these systems that we're now learning federal agencies are watching. And who's integrated with federal agencies? Palantir. So what you said about becoming invisible is so important right now, because even driving to the store, if you're going past a Flock camera on your way, and go to DFlock to learn where they all are, but if you're going past a Flock camera on your way, federal agencies are learning everything about your every movement and your intention and your conversations. I mean, this is scary stuff, Brett.
They basically made the entire world guilty for their crimes. And it's such an inversion that the people should just be so angry about this. I mean, your government is accusing you of committing crimes every second of every day. So much so that they feel like they have to spy on you every second of every day because you're so untrustworthy. You're so unloyal. You're such a bad patriot.
And these niggas are absolute hypocrites. They're the ones that's doing sneaky things, having sex with little kids or babies and shit on islands and such, when they want to tell you that we have to keep an eye on you and watch you all the time and accuse you as being a terrorist and all that other shit, being a hateful person with hate speech. And I'm like, whatever.
And a bad American. You're such a bad citizen that they have to spy on you. That's what they're telling you. Meanwhile, these guys are doing insider trading. These guys are lying, cheating, stealing. We're spending $14 million on hydrogen peroxide to put in an algae. It was just like, there's ridiculous money laundering happening everywhere. Everyone's being accused of the worst possible crimes. But you, citizen, you watching Netflix after you come home after a hard day at work, you feeding your family, trying not to give your kids, maybe poison GMO food. You're the problem. You're the issue. You not loving that Nancy Pelosi made $400 million, in the course of 20 years. You're the problem. You're the problem that all these things exist. And I think, I hope what I'm saying is rubbing someone the wrong way, because I'm actually on your side. I just want you to know that's how they look at you. So you now need to understand that this is how you're being viewed. You're being viewed 24/7 as a criminal by your own government, so much so that they can't even trust you like a child. We have to monitor you like a child. How do you feel about that? You want to participate in that system, or are you just kind of fed up with the criminals pointing their finger at you, telling you you're a bad person? Because that's what we're doing here. We're setting up networks of people that are just kind of fed up of being like, you guys are literally like murdering, stealing, lying. And then I'm just going to work, and then, you know, you're pointing your finger at me and putting your camera in my face saying, oh, what'd you say yesterday to your friend? You know, well, I mean, come on, guys. Let's just all take a deep breath. The adults need to have a conversation about what is legitimately happening in the world versus what they're telling you is happening in the world. And then, you know, all need to start taking accountability of what you're going to do in the world in order to protect your family and protect your free speech.
Yeah, it's very, very.
Let me stop. Isaiah chapter 32, verse 6. For the vile person, which that's Esau, he a nasty ass nigga. Esau Amalek. Even you got an Edomite, a man that appeared to be an Edomite, and her, I don't know, she could be Japhetic or Japhet. But anyway, because she in Australia. But anyway, because you got a lot of them folks in Australia, they've been blended in with Japhet. Esau blended in with Japhet. But anyway, he's saying that he calling out Esau's bullshit, his hypocrisy. Hold on, man. There's always an interruption, man. We got to answer this phone. Well, I ain't gotta worry about answering. It's just some bullshit phone scammer. I have to get up and turn it off because I can't talk through all that ringtone music being played in the background. Anyway, where was it? Isaiah chapter 32, verse 6. For the vile person will speak villainly, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord Yahweh, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. I don't know if that's the right one to read. I gotta go back. Well, let me let this video play while I look for another one.
Important that people start to take this extremely seriously. I mean, someone said to me not too long ago that my problem is that I'm too early, and you know, I kind of by studying. This isn't me bragging. It's like a criticism essentially.
You are early.
You know, seeing 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years down the road, people can't generally see it until it's right in their faces, and then you sound, you know, like you're hyperventilating over something that's not actually an issue until people can't log into an app store until they give their ID, right? So it's like, you know, this is a blessing and a cross to bear, I guess. Those of us who see things ahead of time, and I know.
Well, you're educated. You just, excuse me, I don't want to interrupt you, but I do want to compliment what you do. You read and you listen to what they say. You look ahead and you go, hey, if this guy's saying this and that guy's saying that and that guy's saying that and they're all bad, what is the agenda that they're putting together? And that's what you do, and you form these, you know, hypothesis, which is, you know, educated guess, but it's very educated, and it's not really a guess because it's based on all of your reading and all of your research and all of your knowledge. The problem is people aren't paying attention. People are just like, you know, I was all about it too. Trump's gonna get in. We're gonna win. All right, we did it. Yay! Crap. Like, we're all let down now. Like,
yeah, here we go again. And that's why we fuck this place.
Nothing happened, literally. We're all just like, hang on. And I've talked to some of the...
Yeah, it's like time and time again, people get duped and tricked, and I'm like, dude, y'all should have say it's enough already. Anyway, I ain't gonna play no more of this. If you want to watch the rest of it, be my guest. They got the title of it, because I believe they gonna get in some random talk, and I just want to play videos that talk about one topic, you know what I'm saying? One topic per video, but it seems like they're gonna be talking about random stuff. So I'm not gonna have time to even play this whole shit, especially it's an hour long. So the title of the video, they got a channel. Let's get to the next one about digital ID, or not digital ID, but digital dollar.
Energy security is on thin ice.
Congress didn't ban a CBDC, they just changed who gets to build it. And by the time you realize what their plan is, opting out may no longer be an option. See, last month, Congress passed legislation blocking the Federal Reserve from issuing a retail central bank digital currency, or CBDC, until 2030. And the celebration was immediate. Because if you've never heard of a CBDC before, it's essentially a digital dollar issued by the central bank. But unlike the dollars we use today, CBDCs are programmable, meaning that a select few, or even automated AI systems, would determine how, when, and where your money could be spent. We're talking total surveillance, total control, which is why so many Americans oppose them. So on the surface, this legislation that just passed looked like a huge win. But I couldn't get past the question that if we really just rejected a programmable digital dollar, why then are we still building the infrastructure for a new digital financial system? Because you don't spend years building
We're going to get ready for the chip implant, the mark of the beast.
Digital payment rails, rewriting the laws around digital assets and pushing alternative digital assets.
Yeah, they say they're not, the United States ain't accepting the CBDCs, but they still setting up system for, they gonna ban CBDCs, but they still gonna set up a system where it's like, they're gonna be using CBDCs, but they're not. They're using something else. Shit. Boy.
That's unless we plan on using them. But to understand why all of this is happening and what's coming next, we first have to zoom out and look at globally why every country in the world is suddenly racing to create programmable digital currencies. And I can promise you that the answer has nothing to do with making payments faster and has everything to do with control. Not only control of its citizens, but control of the entire financial system. For the last 80 years, the dollar hasn't just been America's currency. It's been the foundation of the entire global monetary system. Oil is priced in dollars. Businesses settle international transactions in dollars. And foreign national banks hold trillions of dollars in reserves. Now, that position gives the U.S. enormous political power and leverage. The problem is that position isn't permanent. See, over the last several years, we've watched more countries settle trade outside of dollars, create more cross-border payment options. We've seen China pour billions into new digital payment rail technology. For the first time in decades, the U.S. is facing serious competition over the future of global money. But once you understand that, something else becomes very clear. See, if the future of finance is digital, then making sure that the dollar, a digital dollar, is at the center of that future becomes the most strategic priority in the world. Which is when I realized any debate around a CBDC here in the United States isn't real. The future around a programmable digital dollar was decided a long time ago. But then the obvious question becomes, if the Federal Reserve was just blocked from issuing said digital dollar, well then who is going to step in and take their place? The answer is surprisingly simple. You let the private sector do it through stablecoins. Now, at its core, a stablecoin is simply a privately issued digital dollar, and they're pegged one-to-one to maintain a stable dollar value. But before we expand on that, it is important to call out that whether the digital dollar is taking the form of a stablecoin or a tokenized bank deposit or something else entirely is besides the point. The point is that they have built infrastructure, and once you have that infrastructure in place, it becomes very easy to swap out what runs on top of it versus starting over from scratch. Now remember, the entire reason that Americans rejected CBDCs in the first place wasn't just because they're digital, it's because they're programmable, meaning that it could be decided way above you, outside of your control, how your money moves, where and when you can spend it, how it's restricted. Now, I first warned about stablecoins being a CBDC Trojan horse well over a year and a half ago. And since then, much has changed. Since then, we've gotten the Genius Act, which, wow, what a name. You've got to give them credit for that one. But if you dig into the actual legislation and you try and understand, do these control mechanisms exist? Buried in there are the terminologies saying that any stablecoin issuer must ensure that the ability to freeze, seize, and permanently burn digital dollars exist. Freeze, seize, destroy. And they've already done it, proving that they can and will do it again. But here's the part that I keep hearing people say. I've talked to people who have told me, well, isn't it better that it's not the government, that it's a private company doing this? And to that I say, not at all. It's not necessarily safer. I mean, the Genius Act carved out stablecoins from outside the regulatory bodies that oversee financial products. And again, you could sit here all day and say, well, they're not doing much good anyway, and I would agree with you. But now we have this gap, right, where you have the private companies saying, well, we're not the government, we can do whatever we want, and you have the government saying, well, we didn't create those, not our problem, and somewhere in the middle is you. And I know for a lot of people watching this too, that this is not some abstract concern. This is very real. You might have spent years building a retirement, decades working hard, making the right decisions. And out of all of the financial risks you thought you'd be up against, you might not have ever considered the day would come where you would have rules written into a program that would determine your access to your savings, your retirement. That's a different kind of risk than most people think about. And many people out there aren't thinking about this at all because the system isn't done being built. By the time it is, that window to position outside of the system gets smaller and smaller. But you might still be wondering, okay, I'm with you, but how is this different than what we have today? My bank could freeze my account, which is true, but you still have processes, compliance, legal, not saying they're perfect, far from it.
I'm going to stop right here, but yeah. It's ultimately leads to that mark of the beast, the chip implant. And they about to crash the shit. I don't know when, but it's going down. Let me see. I'll just read this because it's leading to the mark of the beast, so I'll just read this. Revelation chapter 13 verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So that chip implant, it'd be a little chip the size of a grain of rice, look like a little bead or glass enclosed microchip inside of it. Oh, microchip. Hold on. A microchip inside of a glass bead. They're about the size of a grain of rice. And they'll have them shaped in different shapes or whatever. But then you got the brain chip, the one going in your forehead. Yep. And that no man might buy or sell. So that's going to be, hey, when they put your digital dollars, digital yuans, or whatever currency, wherever you at, whatever country you at around the world, they what I'm trying to say is that your digital money gonna be on a chip. Well, actually, I don't know if it's actually gonna be on a chip, but it could be up in the cloud. Yeah, it makes sense to be up in the cloud or up in a system. The chip is just used as a key to get access to what you need, which is works like a credit card, debit card. But anyway, it doesn't fucking matter what you need. Hell, you don't need no chip implant. You need Yahweh Shema Shai as an Israelite. Yeah. But pretty much, this coming down to the chip implant, the mark of the beast. Save he that have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of the name. Here is wisdom. Let him have understanding. Count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603. 666 is not the mark of the beast. It just represents a man named Esau, Amalek. As you can see, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. But the mark of the beast is the chip implant. The one goes in your right hand or your left hand or your butt cheeks or your feet. Your titties, big titty, small titty, man boobs, brain implant in your head. Yeah. And if you don't get that shit, you can't move in society. But if you have the Lord, if the Lord be with you, you cool. And I pray the Lord be with me. You better do the same thing. Let's get to the next one.
The game was tied.
Well, someone needs to win.
Well, then we shall play.
Shit, man.
Matt, do you think 2020 was a success in their eyes? What they were trying to achieve?
I think that they thought even more would die.
But do you think that like the lockdowns and the universal basic income and the death jabs and
as a test run for control, yes.
And this dude is clearly not white. I don't have anything that can. Well, his hair kind of is gray and is white on the side, but shit. Obviously, you see his skin ain't white. He's red, bruh. Anyway.
That's a test run.
And it's like remind me of Santa Claus when they talk about the white Santa Claus, so-called white Santa Claus, talking about rosy red cheeks. But he's not white. He's red.
That people would willingly be jabbed with an experimental. They use terms like vaccine because they're popularized as smallpox vaccine, it saved the population. So they use words that are tested as positive that people will support. You have to, if you don't get your vaccine, you're killing your grandmother. What kind of irresponsible person are you? Well, I have to go to this conference in Europe. I can't get on the airplane unless I get the vaccine and I prove I got the vaccine. So as a proof of concept, that we can control people like sheep, make them stand 6 feet apart, make them wear masks, arrest them for paddleboarding off of the coast of California, 500 yards from any other human, and have the police come and arrest them. It's not only a test on arresting the paddleboarder. Will the police obey completely stupid and insane orders, like arresting the paddleboard guy?
Yeah.
Yes, they will. Most police want to keep their
they will
paycheck. They've got the peer pressure from the other zombies around them to just go along and arrest whoever they say. So
we're just following orders.
I think it probably failed in the sense that more people didn't die, but the death is continuing. I in my own family, there's examples of turbo cancer from people I know were vaccinated. and that's ongoing. So it's a very slow rollout. The immediate deaths in the first year, that's you can graph that one way, but excess deaths continuing, diminished lifespans, and infertility. That's another population killer, is infertility, because you just
that damn lowering the birth rate. Esau terminating his own damn self. He trying to. What it is that all these things are happening just to get the children of Israel out of the picture. You Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you specklebird that look like he might look like that guy. Yeah, to get you out of the picture, get you out of sight. Heck, yo, you either get your microchip, be Esau's slave, but hell, it all coming back on his own people, and a lot of his own, and you heathens, you dumbass heathens getting jacked up by this devil, but you so loyal to this nigga. Shit, you shit on the Israelites, but you ain't gonna shit on Esau, even when this nigga here trying to kill you. Shit.
just basically sterilize the population. They don't even know they're being genocided.
But the Wadi Hall by Shemal Shah for giving us the eyes to see and the ears to hear and the brain cells to process what's going on. And I mean, you got some heathens that realize what's going on. And yeah. And shit, you should realize that it's your own goddamn people, buddy, that's trying to exterminate you and exterminating everybody. That man, that's why, hey man. Oh, I don't even know what to say. All I can tell you, man, is that's what happens when the wicked bear rule, man. Yeah, that's what I want to get to. I'm trying to figure out what to say before I get to it. Man, I just like, fuck it, I just get to read it. I just go ahead and get to it. Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 3. And, oh, I read this one. Yeah, this is cool too. Heck yeah. Matter of fact, I'll read these two. Because like I said, Esau exterminated his own damn people. Shit, committing genocide on his own damn people. What you think he gonna do to you, Israel? Oh, I mean, he been doing this shit for the longest, but he don't give a fuck about you if he killing his own people. And this nigga here doing this shit worldwide, not just in America. Ecclesiasticus chapter 14, verse 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom would he be good? I'm gonna start right there, cause yeah. Who he gonna be nice? Who else he gonna be nice to if he evil to other people? Nobody. He gonna just be flat out evil. There ain't gonna be no good in this nigga. No. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 3. And unwise king destroyeth his people. Yeah, Esau's the ruler of the world, but guess what? He killing all the peasants, all his workers, all his supposed followers and all that shit. His order followers. He killing off his order followers. His loyal order followers. I'm just taking orders. And goddamn, you took the vaccine shot just to keep your job as a cop or some military person. And that shit that got your ass fucked up. Either it didn't, or it killed you, or it got you fucked up. But that's what happens when you trust this damn devil, Esau. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn. People are mourning right now after taking this devil's poison. But well, anyway.
They just wonder why they're not having children. They can't have children.
Look at the effects of this shit.
So yeah, and so in that context of who would be evil enough to create a man.
Man, I'm already give you the answer, buddy. It's Esau, even so-called white man, but he ain't white. He's red all over. Woo, this nigga here red all over. I'm just using him as an example. I ain't saying he a Edomite, but I'm just using him as an example. But he's red all over like a hairy garment. Yep. Esau, even so-called white man, but he ain't white. He's red. He's a baby dick sucking, foreskin eating Jewish fucking nigga named Amalek.
Made violent.
So it's pretty much Esau Amalek.
Go into the worst bat caves in Southeast Asia, into the caves where
bat caves. Oh man, here we go with that shit.
Where all the locals say, "Don't go in there; it's unhealthy." Go in there to find these bats to extract something which would never encounter humans, and then combine it with parts of other viruses that attach well to the human lung. So we're going to make a Frankenstein virus that's deadly from the bat caves.
But was that virus really that deadly? Well, it couldn't have just been the flu, or a more of enhanced flu, but it was temporary. Yeah, it'll kill some people, some old people, some people that's got a weak immune system. But the real killer was that damn vaccine shots. That was the real killer. Shit, that was the virus right there.
I forget the name of the bat. It's got the disgusting nose, like it looks like a lamprey eel nose.
All right, whatever. I want to hear nothing about no damn bats.
They down for it. And so these same people, would they lead Trump into being a tool for closing the Strait of Hormuz permanently, wrecking that petrochemical
Oh, that'd be Amalek.
Base permanently, in order to damage the world population? Yeah, I think they would. Sure, they would.
I 100% think they would. And this is where I keep bringing this up to people, and even in my personal life. And I said, you think that 2020 was just a one-off? And let me take it. Let's back up a second before we even got to warp speed. Snitching on neighbors, right? People just staying inside because they were so terrified to walk out the front door.
And you still see people wearing masks.
Yep.
Not one single individual is on my level.
Oh yeah.
There are still people that are so terrified, they're permanently terrified, and they will snitch on their neighbors. They will report their neighbors, and you combine it with a central bank digital currency that not only can be time limited and limited in what you can buy. You know, you've bought enough guns, you've bought enough ammunition. That sale is being flagged, it's rejected. They can easily just say you can only buy gasoline in your zip code. You can buy X gallons of gasoline.
Yeah. You ain't allowed to buy food and like apples and hamburger meat to make a burger, or I don't know, make spaghetti with some noodles. You can only get the bugs. You're only qualified to eat the bugs.
Per week, because now we're in an energy lockdown, right?
Yeah, you know, energy rationing, and you got to suffer through that 110 degree or 20 degree temperatures without AC and shit. We don't even want you to have that fan plugged into the grid, the circular fan, the way we call it. Shit, they probably don't want you, if you got a battery powered fan and you can be able to charge your batteries off the fan onto like a solar power generator. They don't want you to have that either. They'll make up some shit, be like, you gotta have license to have a solar power generator now. Shit, motherfucker, please.
We're gonna say no, you can't move to Ohio because you can only buy gasoline in the Phoenix area.
Or there just won't be any available. And this is the other thing too. I just want to add to 2020. Who was in charge of the country during that time period?
Esau, Amalek. It's always have been.
Biden then transitioned to Trump.
Well, Esau, Amalek.
Trump,
or just regular old Esau.
Trump was in office during 2020.
But he still, until recently, was still claiming credit for warp speed.
Thank you.
And the vaccine, the warp speed, the vaccine shots. Even that nigga said himself, he took a vaccine shot. He said it felt like sex. I don't know. He really did. I think he did say that. Nah, I don't think he probably did. I think he did say it felt better than sex. That liquid candy went through his veins. He like, ooh, make my toes curl. Shit. That shit, boy, yeah, it killed a lot of people. Still killing them. Still messing people up.
His underlings had to say, stop it. He was getting booed at rallies when he would brag about warp speed. He was getting booed by his own fans. You know, they were booing him he was dense about that. I mean, he ran on no more wars and no more forever wars and how stupid Iraq was and how he had been against it. Now he's involving us in something that's multiple times worse than Iraq, because the Iraq war was a dead loss for our money, our.
That what happened when you trusted down. I don't know. Should I play this? Let me see how much more time I got. Oh shit, I ain't gonna play no more of this. But that what happened when you trust the damn devil, bro. Never trust our enemy, for his iron wrestle souls his wickedness, though he humble himself. Well, I'll just stop right there, but just never trust your enemy. Never trust that nigga. And that enemy be Esau, even so-called white man, but he ain't white. He's red, he's a baby dick sucking Jewish faggot nigga. Hell, you can't even trust your own people. Shit. What is this? It says 2020 says global map. I'm gonna say that. I got a video that's talking about food, so I'm gonna throw that in there. But they don't really, this shit here, because you got all this animation crap, is it really, you know what I'm saying, they ain't gonna show you the real, or talk about the real effects of a famine. When people especially start eating each other. I'm pretty sure they ain't gonna get into that. Let's get to this next video. Look like nukes, yeah, nuclear bombs.
There's only one country in the world that has crossed the nuclear line, and that is the United States. The US dropped 2 nuclear bombs on Japan during World War II.
Well, they ain't really nuclear, it's atomic, but
The first was on Hiroshima and the second on Nagasaki.
Yeah, that was a live, what was it? Live drill experiment, exercise, whatever the fuck you call it. But that shit was like, they gotta see what the how much death and destruction we'll bring when we bomb this city, blowing it up in the air, and this one when it hits the ground. Let's see how much devastation will that be. Shit.
The bomb
and then Japan, you know, they were known to throw out the flag. They said we give. They said, no, nigga, we gonna bomb your ass. We gonna catch your ass by surprise too. And shit, when they said we threw out the flag, they gave up. They said they came over there and bombed the shit out of them.
Was dropped on Hiroshima.
That's the devil for you.
Called the Little Boy. It killed more than 150,000 civilians in seconds. The Little Boy holds the title for the most deaths caused by a single weapon. 81 years have gone by, but Japan still battles with the bomb's radiation. Fast forward to this week, the United States has inducted a new nuclear weapon. It is called the B6113. And do you know what's frightening? This bomb is 13 times lighter than the one dropped on Hiroshima, but 24 times more powerful. Our next report gives you all the details.
The United States has just inducted one of its deadliest weapons, the 13th edition of the B-61 gravity bomb, also known as the B-6113. And Washington calls the induction diamond stamping. Sounds glamorous, right? But in the world of weapons, a diamond doesn't symbolize love. It symbolizes readiness. So when the US says it has diamond stamped the B-6113, what it really means is that the bomb is officially part of the nuclear arsenal. So what exactly is the B-6113? This is the 13th edition in the B-61 nuclear bomb series. This is a gravity bomb, also known as a freefall bomb. It doesn't have a motor or engine to power it. It relies solely on gravity when dropped from an aircraft. Now let's look at the firepower inside it. The bomb is small in size. It is 12 feet long and only 13 inches wide. But it has a hardened nose cone, which means it can penetrate bunkers and carry out the nuclear explosion even underground. Basically, it can wipe out cities, but also mountain ranges, and it weighs just 320 kilograms. That's 13 times lighter than Little Boy, the nuclear bomb dropped on Hiroshima. But despite its small size and weight, the B-6113 packs a 360 kiloton yield, which makes it 24 times more powerful than Little Boy that was dropped on Hiroshima. And there is only one way to deploy the B-6113, and that is using strategic bombers. Only the B-2 and the B-21 stealth bombers are equipped to drop this bomb. However, they can carry multiple munitions of the B-6113 in one mission. Why is the US inducting another nuclear bomb? Washington says this...
But that thing, that's a bomb that drops from a plane. Well, they showing images of ICBM missiles. But... yeah. Most likely everybody gonna be mostly using ICBM missiles or launching missiles more than just dropping a bomb.
Security environment has changed. Russia is modernizing...
I don't think they do that. I don't know. Do they? Let me see, dude. Does any country use... They probably... Yeah, I mean, they can. But why would you want to drop a nuclear bomb on somebody? They can easily get... I mean, I don't know. If they know that a plane is coming to drop a nuclear bomb, they'll fuck that plane up and get them immediately. This has to be a missile, because the missile got to move fast before defense pick it up, or, you know. Let me see. Are countries still developing droppable nuclear bombs? Well, it don't have to be. Well, yes, countries are actually developing droppable nuclear gravity bombs with major programs. Advanced, well, they still making this shit. Probably because the budget. Yeah, it'd be cheaper just to drop some of them. Yeah, then launching them with the missiles. I know shooting with a missile is gonna be more expensive. Shooting with missiles, and the missiles or the ICBMs go way up in the atmosphere, so they can't be detected or can't be touched by anything else. Well, they can get touched, but anyway, they detach from the warheads, or the warheads detach from. But anyway,
its nuclear arsenal. China is rapidly increasing its stockpile. North Korea continues with its missile tests, and global competition is increasing. The White House says the US is just keeping pace. The US claims that the B-6113 is about deterrence, not war. But history tells us otherwise. Every country that has a nuclear weapon promises that it will never be used. The world keeps talking about reducing.
But the Bible said what the Lord says in the Bible says. The Lord promising He gonna use it. They're gonna use it. They're gonna make these devils use this shit. Use all they shit. So there won't be no more left.
Nuclear risks. But the biggest powers keep finding ways to improve their stockpiles. Today, the US has diamond stamped its bomb. Tomorrow, another country will reveal an upgrade. Because in this nuclear age, nobody wants to press the button, but everyone wants to open.
I want to press the button. Believe me, I want to press it. But it ain't my job to do so. Yeah, I'm right. I want to press it. I know it ain't my job. Can't for it. Gotta wait for everything else. Yeah, just like what is it? The what's that thing called? The chip implant. You gotta wait for the chip implant to come before the missiles and the bombs get to dropping and shooting up in the sky and blowing up shit. Yeah.
On the trigger.
The world.
Anyway. Isaiah chapter 59 verse 6, Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy, and that be that nuclear that nuclear bombs. Yeah, and warheads. Let me read this one. What is this? Oh yeah, here go another one. Revelation chapter 6 verse 12, and I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and that was created by them bombs. And the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind, and the heaven departed, as a scroll. So when them bombs blew up, them suckers that dispersed air and clouds and all that stuff, and it looked like a certain type of formation or whatever. It is rolled together. When it is rolled together, every mountain and island were moved out of their places. So the nukes do a lot of destruction. Imagine like a grenade or a little bomb goes off. You just detonate a little bomb that doesn't do no damage. Some explosive. Imagine it makes a loud noise but doesn't shake the ground. Now if you multiply the explosion with something much more powerful, it can shake the ground. You can feel the impact and a little bit of a shock wave, and you can hear the noise. But imagine it bigger than that. Yeah, damn well, bigger than that is a hell of a risk. And that nuclear bombs are the biggest bombs they have. And then the Lord gonna make these devils use it just to destroy their own world. There was another scripture I want to read, but I forgot how it goes to find it. It was talking about their eyes would be consumed out of their skulls or something like that, and their tongue would be the effects of what is it? Is this it? No. Oh, this is it. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, whoop, there it is. There it goes. Zechariah chapter 14 verse 12, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem, all you heathens, and hell, even you Israelites that don't want to come to Yahweh by Shema Shah. Y'all gonna get caught up in this shit too. This destruction. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. So this gonna happen so fast. You watch those movies with nuclear bomb go off, be like Sarah Connor from Terminator 2. All them fun. Some people didn't even react. Some people, they reacted when they seen that flash. They hid and covered themselves. But then others, they cut the blasts straight up like, I don't know, they get in a closer distance. They got wiped away, and then shit, they got fucking put to death instantly while they were standing. Got vaporized. Heck yeah. While they were standing on their feet. And their eyes shall consume away in their mouths, and their tongue shall consume away their eyes consume away in their mouth. What the hell? They don't have eyes in there, but well, there was a Beetlejuice character. He had some eyes in his mouth in the first Beetlejuice movie. But anyway, that's a fictional freaking movie or cartoon or whatever. Anyway, let me start over. And their eyes shall consume away in their holes, some of their eye sockets, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Yeah, I'll be like, doing. You got your eyes in your mouth, man. I mean, the Lord made you perfect in His way, but damn, that's like, man, He jacked your ass up. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like somebody who was born with no arms and legs, but damn, that eyeballs in your mouth, yeah. But that was my mistake. I said that by mistake. Anyway, let's move on to the next video. And the rest of the videos are just Arrows of Indignation 144 and the whole 483, and I'm closing out.
How long do you think, we have before this could actually hit?
We? You mean how long till it all goes sideways? Honestly, 5 years, tops. Maybe 3 if the Iran thing pops.
Man, shit. Well, I'm hoping to be like 5 weeks or five months. Oh shit, 5 weeks I really want it. I know 5 years. When those 5 years go by, then you're going to say it's going to be another 5 years? No. The Lord is speeding up the time for His elect, man, because we about tired of this shit. And if we keep continuing on living in this world, we all be dead.
Look, the grid's already creaking. 2025 had that test blackout in Texas. Officially maintenance, but 4chan dug up leaked memos saying it was a dry run for cyber ops. And now, China's got quantum decryption tools, Russia's poking holes in NATO nets, and our own DHS just admitted critical infrastructure is 90% vulnerable. No one's fixing it. They're building AI backups instead. For what? To keep the elites online while we starve in the dark? But here's the kicker. They won't announce it. It'll be scheduled maintenance, then unexpected outage, then...
And it's funny, it's a trip how AI is talking about this, where, AI shouldn't be talking about this.
National emergency. Phones die first. Cell towers need power too. Then ATMs, then gas. If you're not off-grid by 2030, you're toast. Prep now. Solar charger, hand crank radio, gold coins, not crypto. That'll vanish too. We got maybe 36 months before the first big one. After that...
Oh, fuck that shit. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having those things, possessions, but, man, if you ain't got the Lord, your ass is toast. And you definitely gonna be toast when you get caught up in that nuclear destruction, especially if you get that chip implant. For an Israelite, for a heathen, you ain't gotta get a chip implant, but your ass still gonna be toast, because your ass ain't worthy to be in no chair. You damn sure ain't no Israelite. But anyway... Yeah, I mean, it's the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah. You need to be, what you really need to prep on, building up your faith and your trust in Yahweh Shema Shah. And you could do that other stuff last.
Welcome to the new normal.
The big one, the first big one. Explain a day, that day. How's that day going to go for your average person?
That day, picture this. You wake up, phone's dead, no signal, no alarm. Lights flicker out mid-shower. Fridge hums silent. Outside, traffic's jammed because signals are dark. Cars stalled at intersections, horns blaring. Gas stations, pumps won't work without power. ATMs, brick. Banks offline. Your Tesla's app, useless. Battery's fine, but no charging network, no maps. You step out, neighbors yelling, "What the hell?" Stores shutter fast. Cash registers down. Credit cards worthless. People hoard bread. Water lines snake around blocks because pumps fail. Hospitals switch to generators, but meds run low quick. Riots? Not day one. More like panic buying. Fights over the last cans. Cops are stretched thin. No dispatch, no radios. By noon, word spreads. Cyber hit. China or Russia, maybe both. News? Only battery radios crackle static. You realize, no Uber, no DoorDash, no Netflix. Just you, darkness, and whatever's in your pantry. First 24 hours, shock, then hunger, then fear. If it lasts weeks, welcome to survival mode. That's why I say prep, because average Joe's gonna wake up and realize the system's a house of cards.
Yeah.
Was just driving past the gas station, and I seen this black man, my black brother, right? He had 4 big red gas containers. Y'all know the big red ones. He had 4 of them shits on the back of his pickup truck, and he was filling up all the gas and all that. Now, he did not have no long motor on the back of his pickup truck. He just had straight gas canners on the back of his pickup truck. And people are looking at him crazy. And I know who's a smart one and who's the people that don't know what the fuck is happening. See, that black man, he knows what's happening. He knows that Straits been closed for over 120 something days, probably even more than that. And America's not getting no gas. This dude is literally loading all the gas in them gas canners. Because he knows exactly what's about to happen. And I'm just going about my day, going to the gas station store, buying me some water, just got back from the gym. I know exactly what's happening. And all these old heads just look like literally just staring at him. Why you doing that shit? I mean, he paid for that gas, so he probably paid hundreds of dollars for that gas, at least. But he was filling his truck up too with that. And then I'm just sitting there watching him, just chilling. I'm like, you go, brother. You go, because he knows the gas pumps are eventually, being that we ain't got no gas coming from the Middle East, all the states in America are literally on their reserves, literally. It's 4 weeks of gas, yeah. 4 weeks. Probably lower than that. Eventually, the gas pumps are going to shut off. If you're not preparing yourself, well, I don't give a damn how much you prepare with all the gas cannons in your house. And first of all, you can't even store gas cannons in your house full of gas anyway, especially in this hot heat. It's going to explode in your house, then what? So whatever he was doing with all that gas, because like I said, he didn't have a lawn motor, so evidently he's stocking up with some gas. Because he already know. Who knows, he probably got a cool place to keep the gas. But look, it's coming. You ain't gotta believe it. You can say, oh, it's not, this and that. Trump gonna make it all better for us. He said we got plenty of gas. Yeah, y'all keep believing what this dude has to say. Like, y'all don't really do your own goddamn research. Y'all don't even do it. Y'all just believe what the white man say. The white man say. The own government. Which they all against you, against us all. But y'all still think, oh, everything gonna go back to normal, the strait gonna reopen, this and that. But look here, that's why 2 ships definitely got out of there. But guess what? They're not coming here. They going to a different country. America ain't getting their gas. Y'all gonna wake up and go to a gas station with your car. And you're gonna realize the gas ain't working. It says no gas. Then you go down the road 10 blocks away, another gas station. Warrior Farms gas station, no gas. Then you go down 10 blocks again, maybe 20 blocks, and you happen to run into one or two gas stations. No gas. And you might go down at least 40 blocks down, and you might find another gas station. And you will see a whole big line of cars hogging up that one gas station. It's a red flag right then and there. But most of y'all, just like the days of Noah, y'all gonna think, oh, it's just regular day. Regular day. Don't even care. Don't even know what's going on. But you just ran past 4 gas stations that had no gas and no gas. That don't scream a red flag to y'all knuckleheads? Oh yeah, that sure raised a red flag to me. If I drive past 4 gas stations and there's no gas, I'm gonna say, oh shit, something happened here. And then you come across this one gas station and got a whole line of cars trying to get to that gas. 2 red flags. But guess what? I can make so many videos back and forth about the same topic, be very entertaining as well. And y'all knuckleheads not gonna never understand until it's too freaking late, because you still trust the word of your government, the news. The news don't want you to know the gas right now. They don't want to know. They're like, shh, don't tell them shit. Let's just keep lying to them. Let's keep lying, and then they're gonna keep lying to you at the very last second. And eventually all the gas pumps in the damn area of your state is off. Now, no gas. To be honest, guys, I have not seen no big rigs out here carrying them damn gas. I have not seen them on the road, guys, for the past 2 weeks. Guys, I'm dead serious. Ain't got no gas to pick up at the port. I mean, like I said, you ain't gotta believe it. You have to find out the hard way, Missy. Bro.
Does anybody else feel like we're in the calm before the storm? Can anybody else relate to that? Because this is how I feel. Now, look.
2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be good and cheap upon earth, that they should think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion.
For reference, in my life, I'm doing pretty good because I don't have a lot of needs. I have a place to live. I have groceries. My shoes are still good. So for me, that's pretty nice. And things have calmed down a little bit. But even in this situation where I have my SpaghettiOs, I have my place to live, and things seem calm, I still have this feeling of something coming. And I kind of laugh a little bit there because these dreams I've been having, in case you didn't know it, I keep having these same type of dreams almost every night. Well, actually about 3 nights a week of a dystopian future. And in every one of these dreams, every single one, I'm with somebody from my life who's already passed on, who's already died. And in these dreams, everything is just dark and dingy and gray. Places are abandoned. People are living in small groups. It's like The Walking Dead, except without the zombies. And it's been a couple of months of these reoccurring type of dreams. So even now, when things are going pretty good for me and everything seems pretty calm in life in general, I can't stop feeling like something is coming.
Yep, it is. Destruction, plagues, sorrow, death, a whole lot of things. I mean, shit. Let me get these. I'm gonna get 2 scriptures in. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 5. For thou said the Lord Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now and see, rather a man doeth travail with a child. Men don't give birth to baby, but they gonna be acting like it. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great. There's going to be a lot of fear, and people going to be shook so bad. People going to have heart attacks. Shit. Pretty much people going to be dying a lot. Oh, yeah. A lot of people going to be pissing on themselves and shitting on themselves with so much fear all around them. As a woman in travail, and all face turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. And that's supposed to be for you Israelites. It's supposed to be for us. But also the heathens too, because y'all going to be part of Jacob's trouble as well. Heck yeah. But he shall be saved out of it. And who that be? The elect men, starting with the elect men on down to the children. Men, women, and children. Yep. And the elect will be the elect of Israel. It ain't gonna be the elect of every fucking body. No rapture, none of that dumb shit. Or the rapture coming before Jacob trouble. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You niggas about to experience some hell, man, on earth. And shit, it's gonna be mind-boggling. And you see Ezra's get that vision, and he's like, man. 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in them days? And the days that Ezra's witnessed back in the past, he's here right now. Mostly all the prophets are here right now. Some already passed and went to the spirit world. But hey, the ones that's still here, we got to be here to live through this. It might have to be a martyr. I don't know who, but all I know is there ain't no stopping this. Definitely ain't no stopping what I'm about to read next. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. Ain't no stopping that. Only Yahweh Shema Shah can stop it. So don't even bother trying to pray the Lord to make this stuff not happen. No, it's got to happen. The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils come? Seek Yahweh Shema Shah, repent. Do the best you can do. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish, a sinful, scorchful amendment. Before all these things, they should not turn for their wickedness, nor be mindful of their scourges. So don't be them type of Israelites that laughing this stuff off, these Bible prophecies off, because they saying it's a joke, it ain't gonna happen in the next 20 billion years. I'm like, nigga, you out your damn mind. You out your damn mind. It's gonna happen. The Lord gonna make it happen. So the best thing you need to do, well, seek the Lord. And how do you do that? By seeking his prophets and take heed of what to say and try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh Shema Shah by praying Yahweh Shema Shah, praising Yahweh Shema Shah, worshiping Yahweh Shema Shah, fearing Yahweh Shema Shah, and repenting to Yahweh Shema Shah. To all the men out there pushing this truth and nothing but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Shema Shah. Keep on preaching, keep on teaching, keep your faith and trust strong. Yahweh Shema Shah, stay humble. And for you few sisters out there taking heed, keep your faith and trust strong. Yahweh Shema Shah. Stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order. How about you, Shah? Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah. Shalom.